Smart versus stupid. Social media. This is a mind control device. Actually, if we're talking about masks, do you mind if I do a bit of a shout out to
I think everybody can hear you. Okay. How are you guys doing?
hello, how are you all?
We got some people in the chat. What's up, Peter? Gonna go for it. Pocus Focus is with us. How you guys doing?
What's cracking in the hood, biatches? Sorry. I will stop doing that. I am ashamed of myself. I am a wrong person. You may kick me off your channel now.
It's completely fine. We got in trouble last time we were on the show, if you remember. Oh my goodness.
Was it Twat Waffle that got us done?
I don't know. I think it was the content with the demon sex. We got in trouble with demon sex, and like
yeah, that's right.
Age restriction.
Yeah.
Age restriction.
No, I had a little bit of a rant on Twitter the other day about their stupid demonetization rules, because I have a video on testicle temperature, and this has now probably just ruined your monetization. So sorry for that, Mel. Everyone, send in super chats to Mel because I just ruined her the monetization.
It's been ruined for 2 years probably, so it's fine.
Anyway, I was just going through and looked at the requirements, like for monetization requirements, and it hits all of it. It just talks about how sex shouldn't be you talk about sex and sex ed in a non-sexual way, which I talk about scrotal temperatures, and we all need to know about scrotal temperatures. But apparently YouTube thinks that it's not monetizable. So yeah, I was not okay with that, because I think people should learn about scrotal temperatures.
Given that Viagra is covered by American insurance, and that's not a problem, you would think they'd be absolutely fine with talking about scrotal temperatures. If they could talk about getting a hard on.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, I've also done another video on testicles, and this one actually has a photo of testicles and a penis. Like, not a photo, like an illustration, and you can see testicles and the penis. Wow. And it's fine.
That's fine.
But the other one where I've only got like 2 or 3 images and none of them have anything to do with the shape or look of the scrotum, not okay. Don't get it. I really don't get it.
Because the one that you put out recently is probably sexier than the other one.
Maybe. It doesn't have the word cremaster in it, the later one. And the word cremaster needs to be heard by everyone. It's a word that needs to be known.
Okay. That's probably what it is. This one's sexier than the other one. So it's entirely your fault for making testicle temperature sexy according to YouTube standards.
Yeah. By the way, cremaster is a muscle in the scrotum that's the one that I can't remember, because there's dartos and the cremaster. And I think the dartos makes the wrinkly balls wrinklier or smoother, depending how hot it is. So when I don't know because I don't have a pair, but when they're cold and they become crinkle up, that's the dartos.
Okay.
The muscle that causes it to, and that just increases the increases surface temperature and thickens it and sort of kind of makes it a little bit warmer.
Can you imagine if our boobs did that?
Oh God.
It gets cold outside, they just kind of shrivel up and move in.
Well, they do call them the chesticles.
The chesticles, but we don't have cool muscles that cause them to just retractable boobs, man. That'd be awesome.
Like when you're running, it would be fantastic if they just kind of just flatten. That'd be awesome. Damn it, evolution, why aren't you doing this for us?
Peter says it's safer to talk about the clitoris. YouTube couldn't find it.
Well, actually, my clitoris video got demonetized as well.
Because it's sexy.
Well, to be fair, I did show a photo of like a vagina and an anus. Again, illustration.
Yeah. But wasn't porn or anything.
No.
Oh, goodness. YouTube is just silly like that. They're, it's like I got monetization and they're like, yay, demonetized across the board. Can't talk about transgender kids. Can't talk. For a while, they demonetized my anti-vaxxer stuff. Oh, this might be, about anti-vaxxer. Well, it's about anti-vaxxers and how vaccination's important. We got a super chat from Vandalia 1998. Have you seen each other's appearance on my show?
No.
That's a question. I haven't. I need to see it. Vandalia. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments and we'll link it and we'll check it out. After the show hits, we'll go check it out. And thank you for the super chat. So today we're going to talk about, hold on. I got a little video for you. We're going to talk about this. Stupid things on the internet. This week in BS. Stupid things. I don't know what it is, but my sound is coming through my break-in monitor. So let me see if I can. Hopefully, I can fix that. No, it's not there. Anyway,
and while you're doing that, I will talk to the chat. Because that's what co-hosts do, I think. Okay, I've only got the YouTube chat. I apologize to everyone who is not watching this on YouTube, but hello everyone who's doing that. So hello Nervardia, how are you going? Gonna go for it. Hocus Focus. It's Shadow Kitty. Hello, roasted nuts. Tasty. I think. You can take that in any way you wish. Focus. There's those muscles are part of the pain involved in testicular trauma. Oh, I did not know.
Torsion. Testicular torsion is a thing. Hey, Nathan Jasper. This week in technical difficulties. Yes.
Pretty much. I think we should rename that.
This week in technical difficulties. Yes. You guys probably heard it. You probably did. Hello, Titan. Say that name,
Yeah.
full name for us, Nervardia.
Titan Uranus. Or Uranus. This is the proper way to say the name.
I know, but
Uranus.
you're supposed to say your anus after that because then it's
I
funny.
know.
I know.
It
You
is.
didn't fall for it.
Titanic Uranuses.
Oh my goodness. So social media. Normally we would just find some. There was so much awful and stupid on social media this week. Where would you like to start first? Would you like to start with the poor girl who got trolled for asking legitimate questions that are actively studied?
Yes, I am actually going to stand up and stand this girl, Gracie. Friggin' yeah, I am super oomphed for her. Are you sure you want me on your channel?
It's okay, Gracie Ham. So
I am very much a Gracie stan. Very much. She's brilliant. She's my hero. Love her.
she's really
gorgeous.
sweet. She seems like a very sweet girl. I tried to reach out to her. I didn't like message her and say, "Hey, would you like to be on the show?" Because it's very last minute. But I'm trying to find that tweet that you sent me. So what she did essentially was she apparently has a TikTok, and she was putting on makeup and she was asking some thought-provoking questions. And the first thing she said is, I don't think math is real. And she says, but I know that it's real. And so she starts going through. So if you're a person who doesn't listen to everything that she says, you just tone it all out. And you're like, she said math isn't real and she's putting on makeup. She must be incredibly stupid. And that's
she's
kind of what she
blonde and young and has one of those preppy kind of, like, I don't know, but like I think it's like, that accent, which instantaneously, and we all do it. We all have our biases. And when I first heard it, I was like, God, that's a stupid thing. But I watched it through and I was like, holy shit, they are the most intelligent questions ever.
Yeah.
She just asked incredibly intelligent questions in a very stupid way. And also she's 16 as well. It's not like a 16-year-old is going to have the depth of knowledge as an actual adult. So I'm giving her a pass on that as well. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway,
right.
Stan her. Absolutely stan her.
So let me pull this up so we can get context. I'm going to pull this up here in my window because I scrolled back too far and I'm like just sitting here scrolling. We talk a lot, Nervardia.
We do.
But that's okay.
That's good. It means that there's so much crap. It's all about this show, actually. I'm going to resend you the 30-year-old British guy
yes.
one as well. I'll resend that to you because.
Okay, maybe we should play him first. Do you want to play him
first? I
first?
actually think so. I think we should.
Okay, let's play him first. Gosh, there's so much bad science that it's just okay. Oh goodness. I'm to the I hate my alarm portion of our chat.
Nathan Jasper makes a very funny point. Goes, it's okay, I watch Cyrus's show, so I'm a connoisseur of technical difficulties.
Oh
yes.
my gosh.
I also am a connoisseur of technical difficulties.
I had good at that.
I had an extremely good experience where just before I got yelled at for 45 minutes, where for 10 minutes, 12 minutes, my guest was muted. So yeah, that was an interesting stream roll around. And trust me, I complained to myself a lot as well.
Fair enough. Now I got to fix your window because I did something different with StreamYards, but I'm getting it fixed. Here we go. All right. There. Woohoo. Fixed.
There we go. Woo.
Okay. So this guy's name is Bob and he's British. And he's got some very thought-provoking questions for us to kind of listen to and indulge if the sound goes through the proper channels.
I just wanted to tell you guys about how I don't think maths is real. And I know it's real because we learn it in school or whatever, but who came up with the concept? And you're going to say Pythagoras, but how? How did he come up with this? He was living in the whenever, but it's not now when you have technology and stuff. You know, he didn't even have plumbing. And he was like, let me worry about y equals mx plus b. Which, I mean, first of all, how would you even figure that out? How would you start on the concept of algebra? What did you need it for? You know, because I get addition, right? If I take 2 apples and then add 3, it's 5, you know? But how would you come up with the concept of algebra? Because what would you need it for? You know what I mean? What would you need it for back then? You didn't need it, so why come up with it?
What do you think?
They're pretty smart questions, and they're questions I also have asked. It's like, where does it come from? Why is it here? That sort of, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and this is kind of like, well, I mean, these are valid questions. Like, what inspired Pythagoras to go, hey, let me figure out how to do this calculation math thingy that we got going on here? I mean, it's like, what inspired him? I mean, like, Newton came up with calculus. I mean,
yeah, like, why? Why did he come up with calculus? What made him think it was a good idea to torture people for hundreds to thousands of years later? Bastard.
I got an A in calculus. I'm terrible at trig. Don't make me do trig. I can do calculus. I can't do trig.
I am so bad at math. I feel like I borderline on dyscalculia. So, you know.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, let me set up the next one, and then let's have a listen to this this young lady who went through, and that was Bill Hayes, by the way. That was Bill Hayes with these profound questions. Let's listen to this young lady, if I can pull it up. We were talking about testicles earlier in erection, so you would think I would be on top of my game and well prepared. But TweetDeck is not being very nice to me at the moment. Technical difficulty. So, did you know that I sing sometimes?
You do. Can you go for it? Well,
I don't know. Oh, Nacha's in the chat. Hey, Nacha.
Hey, Nacha, how you going, mate?
Yep. Have we started Sex Demon Saturdays yet? This is important.
No. Oh, we could. Every second Saturday.
Every second Saturday? Okay.
Yeah, we could. Liable to change without notice at any time because hooray, casual work.
That's right. But yeah, Sex Demon Saturday, that should be a thing. So I was brought up in musical theater. I have a background in musical theater. I'm still pulling this up. I was trained in high school as a alto, all the way to alto 2, and then in college dramatic soprano. Have about, I think, is a 4-octave range, so I can sing a little bit. So it's not bad. Yeah, wow. I sing a little, and sometimes I play the guitar. And I am a beast at rock band when it comes to drums and singing at the same time. I will Phil Collins the crap out of all of that. I'm just telling you. You get me? Mm-hmm.
So what did you like to do? I'm a bit of a Pirates Penzance, you know, the Mikado. Did you play, like, you know?
Oh,
Gilbert and Sullivan.
I am the make and model of a modern major general. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I was, you know, my assignments were like, sing Christine's parts from Phantom of the Opera. I can never hit that high E. And they were just like, this is unrealistic expectations to hit that high E 2 octaves above middle C. And I'm like, you're out of your freaking mind, man.
Considering you're an alto.
Well, I can sing dramatic soprano, but I can go all the way down almost to tenor level. They would recruit in the alto 2s to sing some of the tenors if we didn't have enough tenors in high school.
Wow. My main, I got to about two octaves. That was my range by the time I gave up my singing. So we should probably do do like a duet one day.
We could do science songs. We could do like Randy Rainbow stuff, except with science.
Sounds good.
That might be
Sounds
fun.
good.
So I found it. Here's Gracie, and
She's gorgeous.
all of her glory. Let's have a listen. So we heard Bob say all of these questions that elicit profound thoughts. What's Gracie say?
I was just doing my makeup for work, and I just wanted to tell you guys about how I don't think math is real. And I know that, like, it's real because we all, like, learn it in school or whatever, but who came up with this concept? And you're like, Pythagoras. But how? How did he come up with this? He was living in, like, I don't know, whenever he was living, but it was not now, where you can, like, have technology and stuff, you know? Like, he didn't even have plumbing. And he was like, let me worry about y equals mx plus b. Which, first of all, how would you even figure that out? How would you, like, start on the concept of algebra? Like, what did you need it for? You know? Because, like, I get, like, addition. Like, hey, if I take 2 apples and then add 3, it's 5, you know? But how would you come up with the concept of, like, algebra? Because what would you need it for? You know what I mean? Like, what would you need it for back then? You didn't need it, so why would you come up with it?
I mean, fair enough, you know?
Those are excellent questions, and you know what? I ask those same questions as well. More in the sense of, why do I need to know this? It's so... Because, as I said, I am horrendous at math.
Well, it's, you know, and the thing is, she got so much hate. People listened to the first part of that, and then they didn't finish. They're like, oh, it's just a stupid blonde girl putting on makeup. And she's, you know, she says, math's not real. It's just another little entitled girl doing all these things, and she's dumb and stupid. And that's not the case at all. So many people came out in support of her, actually.
And ironically, like, there's a lot of math philosophers that actually are like, is it actually real? Like, there are people genuinely asking that question at high levels of education. So it's not a stupid question at all.
No. And to be quite frank, units are absolutely arbitrary. It doesn't matter what they are.
A meter, it's 100 centimeters. What's a centimeter? Why do we have, why? How did they figure it out? Why? Like, it's a really
Why
good
is it
question.
that length and not something else?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you want to go way back and you want to get in biblical, they would do cubits, which was like the length of an arm. Like your freaking forearm.
Yeah, and a forearm of a 10-year-old is different to a forearm of a person who's 7 foot tall. Just a little bit different.
It's exactly.
I think. I mean, I could be wrong.
Right. It's just, you know, a little bit different. I'm knocking my stuff here. So good questions are the ones that provoke thought, and we should absolutely not hate on people for asking good questions. And the people that were giving her abuse didn't even listen to the whole thing. They just checked out after the first few sentences.
And also, I found this through Cosmological. I think they retweeted it, and that's how I found her. And the caption was, "This is why we need to give math history. This is why we need to teach the history alongside with the math." Because, it's sort of like, it was interesting because she was asking the questions, and a lot of people were going, well, why don't you just Google it? And it's like, what's the point of asking a question then? What if somebody else had the same question? And this is something that my mum mentioned to me, was that, you know, she said that if you've got a question, there is a good possibility that somebody else in that room may still have that same question. Trust me, I had that same question. And you know, the idea of just look it up yourself kind of is a disservice for everyone, because if she gets the answer, then, you know, and somebody's reading through the comments, then who has the same question, they too also get the answer. It's a way to share information.
And you know, it's pretty interesting. Because I'm I'm a budding professor, so I'll record like my Q&A sessions and stuff that I have with students. I record them and upload them. And I save them for my other students, because I guarantee you a question that a student has on it in case somebody else, because we're in a pandemic, guys. The U.S. is in permanent timeout until we sort ourselves from the rest of the world, if you didn't know. But, hey, so while we're sorting that out, I do asynchronous learning. So I have all of this information on the internet for them to look at. I guide them. I'm like, okay, we're going to do this week, and then we're going to do this week. And each week I have Q&A sessions where I engage. And then I also have one-on-one sessions with students. But I record my group meetings because there will always be a student who has the exact same question. And that's beneficial information. And it lets people know, hey, they had my question too. And there's a bit of camaraderie there. It allows you to know that you're not alone. Other people think the same way you do to a degree, particularly in stuff like that. And it's nice.
And also, as an educator as well, like we find out, well, I don't consider myself too much of an educator, but I have done teaching in the past for for chemistry, English as a second language. And whenever somebody asks a question, that makes me go, that is a part of the information that I have missed. And if people didn't ask questions, you wouldn't know that you've missed that important piece of information. Right. So sometimes, yes, I don't believe that there is no such thing as a stupid question. But often questions that are asked can be quite intelligent and quite beneficial.
Yes.
It after a while, it gets to the point where it's like, okay, now that's a stupid question. Okay, I've explained that 4 billion times before. You're just not getting it. Go away.
Oh my gosh, there was a stupid question you sent me. Let's see. Let me pull this up. I know you had tweeted it.
I segued that quite well, didn't I? It's like...
And here is an example. All right, so let's have a look at this fantastic gem of a thing. So Jordan Rachel. So let me get this straight. There's no cure for a virus that can be killed by hand sanitizer and or hand soap. I like the and or because, if hand sanitizer kills it, you don't need soap, right? If soap kills it, they both would kill it for the same freaking reason. That's my first notice. What else? What you got?
Well, somebody was actually in my comments when I said it, I was like, everyone, this is a stupid question. They were like, oh, this person wouldn't understand basic like biochemistry, and it's like, no, you don't need to understand biochemistry to understand the difference between prevention and a cure. I mean, a 5-year-old understands the difference between a prevention and a cure. I remember when I was a very young kid, I could have been about 7. We were we were doing cooking, and they were always going, make sure you wash your hands. And it's not difficult to understand the difference between prevention and a cure.
I think that goes back to a little bit of that Donald Trump thinking, where it's like, well, if disinfectant kills it, why can't we just put that in our bodies? I think it might be an extension of that kind of thought process. Like, if we can't, why don't we just eat soap?
Because it will also kill you, maybe?
It depends on the soap. Borax will just probably make you sick for a little bit, but it won't just be lethal. But you just don't go. I mean, your stomach has hydrochloric acid in it, so it's gonna break down. It's just gonna make you want to puke a lot, but it's not gonna kill you. But it's the same thought process. They don't think this through, and we have President of the United States to thank for encouraging
this thought. Yeah, and also the difference between Gracie and Jordan is that Gracie, as I said, is a 16-year-old. She also was doing a stream of consciousness. So she, as I said, she asked intelligent questions in a stupid way because it was a stream of consciousness. It's like you don't expect people who are just doing streams of consciousness to have well thought out questions, because that's the definition of a stream of consciousness. But she actually took the time, Jordan Rachel took the time to sit down and type this out. It is not, you read back and you go, also, Jordan Rachel is, from what I can see, an adult.
Yeah.
She's not 16. And it's sort of, it's like basic immunology, basic, like, and when I say basic, I'm not talking about, stuff that you learn in high school, kind of, this is how the immune system works. I'm talking about the basic things of, if it's in your body, it makes you sick, like what you learn from childhood.
Right.
Versus a person genuinely asking, how the hell did they know how to do this? How the hell did they know they were right? Why did they do this? They're very, very good questions.
They are. They are.
Yes.
And it's like you said, it was a stream of consciousness. But I really kind of treasure that type of questioning, because you can kind of see where her thought process is going. And it's building into, okay, then there was this, and then this thing happened. And she's just in utter amazement of what's going on. I really enjoy engaging, and even if it's just the stream of consciousness thing, that's so important to try to understand how people think and how they process information. A lot of times I used to use Twitter, and sometimes I use it as like a vast stream of consciousness. I'll go on a rant that's like 7 tweets long. I'm like, okay, I think I'm done now. But it's just like, I've gone off on this tangent, then I went over here, and then we circle around and came back again. Boy, I feel so much better now. But it's so, I appreciate that way of questioning.
Yeah, and so do I. And her questions, Gracie's questions, it would be my, shower thoughts. Everyone has bizarre thoughts in the shower.
Oh God. Do you want to know probably the most bizarre thought I've ever had about humans? We're just like a giant donut. I mean, we got a hole from end to end. It's like a really cylindrical. We're just a cylindrical donut with extensions on it.
Pretty much.
It's like, this is the only openings that actually, it's like, but see, this is probably why I shouldn't be on the internet.
It's like who hasn't had a thought where they're like, how the hell did they figure this out? For me, it's knitting. How did they figure out? Like, I can understand knotting. I can understand that bit, but how did they figure out to put it on two sticks and start doing the knitting thing?
And then the weaving thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then and looms.
Yeah.
And it's sort of things that are like
amazing.
Yeah, and for her, that's her equivalent of my knitting. It's like, how the hell did they figure this out?
It's amazing. One of my favorite things that keeps me in that constant state of awe is Brian Cox, Professor Brian Cox, The Human Universe. If you've not seen it,
I want his babies.
Oh my God. I don't fangirl often, and I promised after the Will Wheaton episode I would never ever fangirl again, because I met him when I was like a preteen. And I fangirled so hard I forgot my own name, and I was so horrified and embarrassed, and I didn't eat for like 3 days because I was so upset at myself. But I did tweet to him once, and I tweeted the picture that I took of me, we took of me and him. And then I sent it to him. He was like, gosh, we're children. I'm like, I know. He's like, this is amazing. He went on mall tours a long time ago. But Professor Brian, I would probably fangirl the crap. I've met Kevin Smith, hung out in his living room, did a podcast with him. And I love Kevin Smith. My God, Silent Bob, I love him. He's an amazing human. Professor Brian, and I've met Neil deGrasse Tyson. He signed my Carl Sagan book. Got a picture with him. Professor Brian, I would probably just sit there and go, could you just talk about physics? Because I can't.
I can't human at the moment. I would be exactly the same way, to be honest with you.
But the human universe, guys, they talk about the evolution of the brain and Homo sapiens, how we're the only animals that we have evidence of that have actually managed to leave the planet. It's just like,
Well, haven't tardigrades left the planet as well?
They have, but through human use, I think. You know, we've put them in tested to see if they could withstand cosmic radiation, and they can, and the vacuum of space.
I love them. They're so cute.
They are cute.
But I think I do. We're kind of going off topic, but when the asteroid hit the KT.
Yes, KT impact.
The KT impact. What's that called again? I can never remember the word.
Oh, it starts with is it the Cretaceous and
the impact Cretaceous.
Oh, it starts with a C and it's around South America.
Yeah. When that the impact
something or other.
Yeah, the Krushka Club. No,
it's huge. It's a big, huge hole that has iridium, and so that's why we know an asteroid hit there, because it doesn't occur naturally on the planet. That's chemistry for you, iridium.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, when that hit, it put up so much stuff from Earth, like so much Earth.
Polluted the air and stuff.
Yeah, everything. But it was so big. There are not a single planet in our solar system has escaped Earth's contamination from that impact.
Wow.
Even Pluto has Earth rocks on it.
Wow.
Yeah. I think they said, because I had this, I was listening to the Skeptic's Guide to the Universe, which I will always talk about this, because I fucking love them. And they mentioned that I think they said about 10,000 tons of Earth debris is on Titan.
Wow.
Or something like that.
That would be amazing. And it would be pretty interesting. I need to get Cosmo biologist back on the show. He is an astrobiologist who works for NASA and does talks. And he's the person to go to for potential life on other planets. I think he'll come back on. I know Jeff Holliday's agreed to come back on the show, so that'd be fun. Jeff Holliday's fun. If you follow his Twitter at all. It gets a little sweary sometimes. That's all right. He's been on the channel before talking about anti-vaxxers, because that's kind of what he does. It's a lot to deal with them. So that's coming up. But yeah, astrobiology is pretty awesome. Oh, goodness. Wonder Lady says, "What, Mel, my sister saw Brian live." I had an opportunity to do that. He actually went to Chicago, and I could have taken a train, but I missed out on my opportunity. And I'm kicking myself.
Yeah. I saw Neil deGrasse Tyson live, and I even got him to ask a question too.
He's great.
So, yeah.
He's a great communicator. Nuck Chorus on Periscope says, "Jordan thinks we can kill a virus by getting drunk." Boy, that is actually one of the COVID-19 myths.
Well, you can definitely kill the virus. It will kill you. Cure you, I mean, sorry. Same difference.
Nathan says Chicxulub impact. Was that it? I think that's it, Nathan.
That's it. Chicxulub, yes.
Chicxulub.
Thank you.
Let me catch up on the chat, I think, for a second. Okay. Trying to see. Aunt Jer, I just got here. Is the answer with trial and error? I don't know, but that's a good
probably
in the form of a question.
Gonna go for it says coffee, especially Kopi Luwak. Who thought of that? Exactly. Who thought of going through cat poo to make coffee?
It was not me. I can promise you. That was not something I would do. I would be like, hey, I'll hold your beer. You go do that. Let me know how it goes. That's what I'm doing where I live, where people are going out to bars and partying down, even though our state's increasing in COVID. I'm like, I'm just going to sit back and watch what happens. This is an interesting experiment that all of these willing participants are engaging in. Have fun. I shouldn't make light of that. It's actually a pretty bad situation, but I try. It's just, guys, I have.
It's either you laugh or you cry, basically, at the moment.
It's pretty freaking bad. Oh God. Anywho, let's talk about some really stupid things that people are saying about masks. You sent me a thing on that.
I did. Aunt Jer says answer to the math question from that TikTok girl. Yeah, the trial and error. It's possible.
Oh, yep. Yeah, and the thing is, there is stuff that you can do experimentally and experimental wise. There was a movie. I'm trying to think. There was a movie that I watched recently. It had Rachel Weisz in it, where she played an early Roman mathematician.
Oh, it's Hypatia, and it was and I know. After watching that movie, I wanted to burn down a church. I'm not a violent person, but I wanted to burn down a church after that movie.
My God. Oh my God. Yeah.
I watched that. I know the name of that movie as well. And it was brilliant and made me want to burn down a church, basically.
It's just,
because it talks about the sacking of all the great libraries. The last one was the Library of Alexandria.
I'm still mad about that, and I wasn't even born.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we should be mad about that because that put back our scientific discovery by about 2,000 years.
Something like that, yes.
Imagine where we would be today if they hadn't done that.
I know. It just, and that's one of the things that I talk about often, particularly in courses and stuff, and also the importance of diversity. When you consider, airbags. Airbags were lethal to women when they first came out because the designers didn't think about them having breasts.
Yeah.
And when you have that diversity, you get multiple perspectives, which are exceedingly helpful. And people just, oh no, let's have all these old dudes sit around in science. And I'm just like, man, y'all missing out so much. You have no idea.
Yeah. Well, what was it when Saudi Arabia said we want to be amongst the best in the world? Somebody said you can't be the best in the world in science if you won't let half of your population get educated. It was something along the lines of that, and that kind of shut them down pretty quickly.
That's entirely true. Well, speaking of masks.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to it. Let's talk about that person. I can't.
Mel Q. I'll pull her up. I can blow this up a bit more, I think. So, here we go. So she's got a frog there, which makes me think she's probably racist. Because Peppy the frog and all that.
And also Mel Q. QAnon. Q. Yeah.
Oh, probably that too. I wasn't even thinking. All right.
I really feel sorry for Shannon Q as well, because everyone probably thinks eventually will think she's QAnon.
Poor Shannon.
Oh, poor thing.
Oh my goodness. So Mel's been collecting tweets. Summer. Look at that. Mel Q is hiding replies to this thread. Merro, look at that. She's hiding replies because she doesn't want people to post on the thread. Oh, so let's read this. Staph infection on my face due to mask wear equals heavy antibiotics equals stomach ulcer equals up all night dry heaving. 2020 rocks.
Okay, my favorite thing about this is it clearly shows how often people don't wash their masks.
Yes. I would imagine they probably do the same thing with their underwear.
Yeah.
They just turn it inside out and wear it the other way.
Yeah, probably.
But for real, it's one of my most libtarded friends in New York City now has a staph infection all over his face. His doctor said it was from wearing a mask, telling perfectly healthy people they are being selfish by not doing something that does more harm than good is called gaslighting. No, telling them that they should wear the same mask all day and not change it like you would your underwear. I just...
Well, as soon as they said libtarded, my thought process was, yeah, I'm going to dismiss everything this person says. I know that's sort of a logical fallacy, but as soon as they went most libtarded friends and also then starts going railing against masks, there's often a correlation with that and a lack of understanding of science. I mean, as I said,
Pocus Focus says staph can survive stomach acid. Yeah, I don't think that's... Yeah. I think they just probably had a combination of different infections that were going on because they didn't wash their hands, they didn't take off their mask, and they probably didn't wash their face.
And also, how the hell do they know it's from wearing a mask? I mean, people are going, oh, I got this really bad pimple from wearing a mask. And I'm like, or you could have just got a really bad pimple that is in the same place as wearing a mask. Like, they might not be correlated. The likelihood is that they probably are, but it could also mean that they've just got a random pimple. That's not a thing.
I mean, come on, yeah. And, it just... Titan was saying staph infection from wearing a mask. Next time, wash your hands between pooping and putting on the mask.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, wash your hands. That's part of the protocol as well.
Yeah.
Wash your hands.
Yes, and also I love the fact that they're spelling staph as STAFF, not STAPH. Even that's
I would
totally
love a staph infection to come and clean my house.
Exactly. Like, what's a staph infection? Is it like when a whole group of people who have been employed by the same company coming and just infecting your face or something, just crawling all over your face?
A staph.
Is that a staph infection?
I don't know. If the staph infection is coming and cleaning my house, I'm all for that.
Yes.
And I have a guy that thinks infections clean out your system anyway. So
yeah, they're
the
nice
segue in a minute.
Yes. I mean, like the thing that makes me giggle the most about these people who are like, I'm getting infections from it. I'm like, okay, so you have an easily treatable disease that is also easily preventable if you washed your freaking mask. Like, it's easily preventable, easily fixable. Like, that's worse than, let me see, lung scarring, kidney damage.
Yeah, right.
Neurological damage, chronic fatigue, permanent disability, and death. So I can see their thinking. Course of antibiotics or death. Yeah, I'd choose the death too.
What's really bad is all these people are not thinking about the fact that some of these deaths that are being reported of pneumonia or something like that, pneumonia might be a secondary infection to COVID-19. And so somebody might be positive for COVID-19 and be battling that infection, pick up a second one, and the second one kills them, not the first. But they're not thinking about that, and that's not being reported.
No.
And so people are like, oh, it's just 6%. Well...
6%, yeah. 6% of people are dying. That is incredible. That is a lot of people dying. That's huge.
For a huge population like the U.S., yeah, that's like millions of people. But hey, herd immunity, that's going to be fine, even though people are getting reinfected now with new strains.
Mm-hmm.
And it's worse. So,
Yeah, because there were people who were like, fighting against all the prevention things and spreading it around, giving like what we talked about last time, which was, the more people get the disease, more likely it is to mutate, which makes it harder to vaccinate against.
see, I just gave a talk Wednesday night for Nerd Night. They asked me to come and I talked about COVID-19 and scientific illiteracy. The title was A Toxic Tango to the Tune of Bias. Isn't that a cool title for my talk?
That's very cool.
I thought it turned out really nice. And it's just one of those things. People don't understand that with RNA viruses, since there's a high rate of mutation, given this one is mutating slowly, the outside of receptors are not mutating as much as we would expect. So that's good. That means there's still hope for a good vaccine. But
that's like the only good thing that's come out of this virus. Everything else has been bullshit.
Right.
Like, holy shit.
We can still get good antibody production to neutralize it, but we also need a good T cell response as well. And there are vaccines that can do that. But the thing that people aren't understanding is it's like sitting at a slot machine. If you only have like 15 nickels, you're not likely to hit the jackpot, right? But if you have unlimited nickels and you can just put them in over and over and over again, eventually you're going to hit the jackpot. And people for COVID-19, we're the nickels. And so if this virus has unlimited nickels, it's going to hit the jackpot at some point in time in a mutation that's going to stick and be beneficial for it. And we're already seeing a couple strains like that. So it's like,
Just listen to the fucking scientists.
I think there's a hole in the wall over here from where I keep putting my head through it. I think I need to just stop replastering it and just leave it there.
It's quantum tunneled all the way through.
I'm going to start using the force. Maybe my sonic screwdriver or something. I'll just be like, people make me mad.
Yeah, no, I'm fairly sure that I've filled up a couple of oceans with my tears.
That's just
R.I.P. science.
Oh man, let's see. It's when the staff is infected. That's what Aunt Jera says. Now we're talking Resident Evil stuff. I went back and watched that again recently. Gosh, man, it's still kind of disturbing, And then going back with Science Eyes, because when that first came out, I hadn't gotten my degrees yet, and I was like extremely terrified of that film. And then I watched it again. I'm like, okay. Oh wait, no, that can't happen.
It's actually scarier now. It's scarier now.
A bit scarier now, yeah. Oh gosh. All right. So this person, Mel Q, also known as @LittleMel, that's not me. She's saving up all of this wealth of dumb assery. She's like, I'm just saving all of this for you all, and so here you go. You can check it out and see all of it keeps staph infections this, staph infections that. There were pictures. Didn't she post pictures at one time?
No, but somebody else did. But there's something else I want to point out. She's got, so far she has 7. So 4. So what's 7 times 4? Remember how I said I'm not great at calculus? 28.
I think so.
Yeah. 28 examples of people having staph infections from masks, comparing it to the thousands of people who are wearing masks. Statistically speaking, that's not very many people. I mean,
no kidding. Pro tip, guys.
Yeah.
I bought me a package of black cloth reusable masks, and I keep several of them in my car. And if I go in somewhere, I take it off and I put it in the dirty side and I get a fresh one. And so, like for this particular tweet, it says, remember, if you want to stay healthy, always wear your sweaty, moist, bacteria-breeding, germ-trapping mask over your mouth and nose. And I'm like, who does that? That's like, you change your mask. And if you think you're going to leave it on there, if you're licking it and dipping it in soup and shoving it back on your face and waving it all over the grocery store and then shoving it back on your face again, maybe you wipe your butt with it. I don't know. Change your freaking masks, guys.
Yep. That's not just... and a lot of the people in the comments are like, well, I've just found all these people who don't wash their masks. Like, there's just so... And the fact that she's going around and hiding some of the answers, the responses, kind of... Yeah, I can kind of understand some of them if they're like being really, really toxic and that. But thankfully, I'm noticing she's not hiding most of the you should wash your mask ones. But yeah, no, I'm just having a look if I can see mine.
Oh my
goodness. God, there's so many people who've just responded. But a lot of them are saying these people just don't know how to wear masks.
Yeah. Well, that's an upside there. That's an upside there.
Yeah.
So
there is that one. Did you want me to send you? I'll resend it to you because you don't have to scroll back up.
Okay.
The one where it's like
with the pictures.
Yeah, the pictures, because this is something I've seen going around, and it's interesting because it's you'll see, and you'll be able to go, well, this is wrong.
Okay. All right. So here, let me go back to this. Okay, so this one. All right. So just to point out, this picture right here where there's the lines across, that's bruising. That's not a staph infection. That's actually, if you reverse Google image of that, and I remember seeing this. Now, I'd appreciate it if somebody would reverse Google for me, but I remember seeing a story about a nurse who wore her mask all day that it gave her a bruise because of how tightly she had it. It was an N95 masks, and those are pretty tight. This isn't a staph infection, so this is disingenuous. This is actually, they're actually lying.
The top right one, I think, is chickenpox.
That looks like chickenpox. And according to the CDC and the World Health Organization, babies are not supposed to wear masks.
Yep, that's a baby. I think let's see if
bottom left corner is also a baby. I would say a toddler, possibly around that age.
Possibly. It could also be a kid with acne.
Yeah.
I think like the top left one, that could come from a mask, but it shouldn't because she's only got it around her mouth, not up around her nose.
Right.
So it also looks like a rash. So it could be a reaction to something that she's put on her face.
True.
And the bottom right hand is very blurry. I can't really see what's going on, but it looks like rosacea.
That's what I was going to say, rosacea. Hi, Exibis on Periscope. Hey, Ann on Facebook. How you doing?
Hello, everybody.
Thought I'd shout out and say hi to the people I hadn't said hi to you yet. So we're looking at things that are not staph infections.
Yeah, with possible exception of the bottom left hand, which also could be acne.
Yeah.
Like just teenager having pimples.
Right.
So that's just easily disputed. Just even by looking at them, you can kind of tell that they're not actual.
They weren't even trying hard. I mean, it's
no.
like they just went and found pictures that look gross.
Yeah. And that's the problem with propaganda. That's the problem with the lack of critical thinking. And if you were to point out that none of those are actual staph infections, then those people are going to be like, well, you are just buying into the whatever conspiracy, sheeple kind of thing. It's like,
Yeah.
I love being a sheeple when it comes to the fact that
I do
facts.
too. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, facts apparently make you a sheeple.
Oh my God. So let's talk a bit about this lovely human that just happened to come on my radar that thinks viruses are a way to cleanse your body.
I love it.
You know, we need viruses to cleanse our body.
We do, apparently. Oh, hang on. I just clicked onto that link that you just sent me. It says, sorry, that page doesn't exist. Thank you, Twitter, for taking that down.
Oh, gosh. Uh-oh. Did Twitter take something down?
I think so, yeah. Because you just sent me the link. I don't know if it's to that person's actual thing. So was it?
Okay. Yeah, I think I know people were reporting this tweet for encouraging self-harm. So let me see if I can pull this up. Let me see.
Actually, apparently, no. The tweet's been brought down, but Garrett Kramer is still around and has a tick. I didn't notice that, actually.
Yeah. So this is the tweet, I guess, that was taken down. I screenshotted and sent it to you just in case that was going to be a thing.
Yes. That was a good move.
I was using my noodle. So he says, you don't have immunity to a virus. You don't want immunity to a virus. When you need a virus, a cleansing and healing, it's a good thing. If you take medication to prevent a virus, you are suppressing a cleansing and healing. Soon this will catch up with you.
Okay, his Twitter profile. It says, founder of Inner Sports, explorer and teacher of non-duality, author of Still Power, The Path of No Resistance, and coming in early 2021, True Self. This person has no scientific training. And he's also got a blue tick, but only has 8,746 followers. How does that work?
Used to that Twitter would allow people to get that blue tick if they sent them their driver's license.
Okay.
And I tried to do that, and they're like, yeah, no, we're not giving it to you. I'm like, you have verified the Cookie Monster. You can verify me because, I'm not a jerk. So...
Oh my goodness, this person is insane. I'm just going through it now. He says, so vaccine manufacturing keeps increasing and viruses keep increasing, and we keep spending billions of dollars to increase vaccine manufacturing in order to decrease viruses. Makes sense.
Let me see. I'm going to try to... Yeah, Twitter's removed that tweet. So here, I've got his profile up now. So guys, he has a website. I'm thinking about contacting him. And just, asking if I could just record a conversation with him, and then you and I could just play it and rip it apart later.
Pretty much. This person isn't just, oh my God. Oh.
Do not take medical advice from athletic consultants with no medical education who do not believe viruses cause disease. And he goes, health tip of the day. Don't allow bullies to stop you from speaking your mind. If your mind is causing you to hurt yourself and other people.
That's fine. I'm happy for that. He's like, funded science is anti-science. How the fuck does that work?
Look at this. This is funny. I think what you think. Let's read his little narrative here. presenting a different narrative on a subject doesn't make that subject a hoax. It's simply a different perspective. There's correct and there's incorrect. That's just, anyway. Text a comment. Garrett, you think COVID is a hoax? No, I don't. I think COVID is the result of toxic overload. I think COVID is our mutual reaction to this overload. I think the sharing of spaces, of touch, even of solvents, is how we help each other. Sharing is caring except for diseases, guys. I don't want your funk on me. I just don't. We prepare each other and we heal this way. I think masks and social distancing have made us sicker. Have they, though? Have they, though? I think we should not test the healthy. How do you know if they're healthy or not if you don't test them? Don't test the people who look healthy for cancer, because we know cancer only shows up if you look sick. I think the test numbers are flawed. Okay. I think that a person, let alone a healthy one, cannot transmit sickness. Where did he go to school? I want to contact his teachers. I think viruses mean no harm. I think 100% of our funds should go toward cleaning the toxic environment that gave rise to this mess, and 0% of our funds should go to pharma. He was almost right there. I think we should change our healthcare system in America. Yes, you're correct there. A system
I'll give you that.
Fosters disease and conflict. Okay,
that's kind of true, actually. Yeah. Well, I'll give him that. He's probably saying that in a way, like he probably means it in a way that we're not picking it up. I mean, he's right. It does encourage conflict because it's sort of like conflict between eating or making sure I don't have cancer.
Right.
Like
they even have cancer insurance that you can buy, Merro. Did you know that? That's separate. Because cancer treatments are so expensive, you have a lifetime max on how much money that your insurance policy will pay out towards your treatments. If you surpass that, you have to pay it out of pocket. And most of the time, it's like $1 million is the most that a company will pay for your insurance. And so if you're talking like $200,000 and $300,000 treatments each time, you have to buy separate cancer insurance on top of that.
In Australia, if you have cancer, you get treated.
Yeah, that don't happen here so much unless you happen to go to one of the facilities that treat people for free, and then there's a wait list. You know,
a wait list for cancer treatment.
For some people, yes.
A wait list for fucking cancer treatment.
Yes.
Holy shit! Why do people live in America?
Then there's a wait list for organ donation too.
Organ donation?
Well, I mean to receive organs.
Oh, well, yeah, no, we have that here, unfortunately, as well. Personally, I think organ donation should be opt out rather than opt in my opinion.
You know, this reminds me of a commercial from one of my previous sponsors, particularly with Dr. Garrett. Well, not Dr. Garrett. He ain't even a doctor. Why did I throw that in there?
You're using it ironically.
I'm ironic in that. This reminds me of another clinic by Dr. Attrick. And here is the commercial that we ran on another episode, I think is quite pertinent right now. So let's have a listen to this commercial.
Has Big Pharma got you down? Are you worried that Big Pharma is making you sick? Do you need medical advice from an ND, not doctor? Fear not, I am Dr. Geriatric, here to meet your medical needs. You might remember me from a previous commercial where I offer old world medicine just shy of the Victorian era and right around the establishment of germ theory. I am back to tell you about our latest immune booster full of all natural ingredients. We are going back to the Louis Pasteur time and scraping animal pox and injecting it into you to help boost your immune system to combat the more harsh diseases. We're going back to the good old days of early medicine where everything wasn't complicated by Big Pharma and the FDA in cahoots to keep you sick. This is how it works. We'll just give you easier diseases that might protect you from worse diseases. Now, we can't guarantee that you'll be immune, and there's a chance that you might die, but hey, at least you won't be contributing to the Big Pharma Mafia, you know? We have a special disease club where you can punch off your diseases and at the end, get a discount on sore treatment when you fill up your punch card. So, come into Geriatric. We have appointments available on the weekends, and you can bring in whoever you want because we're all about communicable diseases, and we share those. So stop worrying about Big Pharma Mafia and come see the good old Dr. Geriatric for your pre-medical regulation, non-FDA treatments. We are all about making things as natural as possible, and this might encourage natural selection to select against you, but that's the circle of life. Y'all all love that. So come see me today.
Oh God, these things crack me up.
Dr. Geriatric, one of my favorite patrons, friend of the show.
Oh my God, honestly, I think we could just go through Garrett Kramer's. He's like, here's our early morning vaccine, and shows a photo of the sun.
Let me pull that back up again. He has a photo of the sun, early morning vaccine. Oh God.
Yeah, I stopped on that one.
Why is Kellogg's creating toxic products for children during a pandemic? It's food coloring. Natural and artificial flavors. No way.
Oh no.
Not that. Not enriched flour. You mean flour that has extra vitamins in it? My God.
Oh my God.
That's what enriched means. They put vitamins in the flour. Oh, Lord. You know
I can almost guarantee you he probably goes, you should take vitamins.
Oh, my God. He's just... Don't liberals stand for choice, for openness, for frank discussion, absent of blame, for refusing to follow for an environment? Here's what's funny. Okay, so he's got the blue tick, and we already said, okay, he probably just sent his driver's license to Twitter and they gave it to him. Look at how much engagement he gets.
Yeah, he only gets... We're probably platforming him. This is probably not a good thing.
Yeah, maybe not. But, you know, most of the people who watch my stuff will just go and tell him how stupid he is, I think, maybe.
Yeah, please don't do that because that'll actually boost the algorithm for him and he actually might go off. Please don't interact at all with him. Please don't.
Please don't.
Like, seriously. Just
don't.
don't.
He's not real. We're just, you know, he's coming out with a book and maybe he'll blow up, but I don't know. But he's a lot like a lot of individuals I encounter. Oh, here you go. Here's your early morning vaccine, guys.
And if you go to the tweet immediately below that, you'll be like, it just, there is a part of me that just wants to get up, get a pillow from the corner from my lounge room and just scream into it while reading this. Like, seriously, this is just like, ah!
Oh my God. We know vaccines are safe. Who is this Garrett Kramer? I'm going to get him on the phone, I think, maybe. I've called chiropractors' offices and stuff like that to try to get information. And I tell you, their administrative assistants are very informative. They tell you all kinds of stuff. I've utilized that quite a bit to find out more information about a person. But my gosh, what the heck is wrong?
Yeah.
Oh, I have messages. I don't, whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
good morning, starshine. The earth says hello. You twinkle above us.
We twinkle below. Ah.
Glooby gloop glooby. Nibby nobby nibby. Fa la 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 lo. I didn't realize that was a vaccine.
Yeah, it's just I can like imagine what would happen if he does that and turns out that gets skin cancer and also like measles at the same time.
We should encourage him to do the perineum sunning.
Yeah. Actually, no, probably wouldn't be a good idea because nobody wants a skin cancer on their anus.
Well, maybe that would be a good teachable moment for him.
Maybe.
The sun is not always your friend.
No.
Yeah, he doesn't get much engagement.
Yeah. So please don't go.
What is this? Guns, masks, and vaccines?
Oh, God. All right, I'll read it out.
Go for it.
Guns, masks, and vaccines. For those conflating gun ownership with the right to not wear a mask or get a vaccine, please consider you might have it backwards. Guns are utilized for protection. Oh, fuck. Guns are utilized for protection to stave off fear. Masks and vaccines are utilized for the same purpose. It's trying to protect ourselves from the fear that gives rise to more fear, suffering, and ultimately destruction. Guns, masks, and vaccines are all the work of the ego. Give me a moment, please. Okay, all right. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Yeah, it's healthy to scream. Scream therapy is great. You just go and yell. Oh my God! I haven't gotten the notification yet that the void is full, so screaming into the void should still be okay.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. It should be getting slightly filled up by now.
Void is not full yet. We can scream into it.
Oh gosh, I'm thinking I might just keep like a pillow nearby every time we do one of these, so I can just scream into it. I think that might just like end up being a running joke.
Oh my gosh, it's just I feel like this is the Wookiee defense. Do you know what the Chewbacca defense is? You don't know the Chewbacca defense. Okay, let me find it. So back when, are you familiar? I'm certain you're familiar with South Park, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so South Park did a show about the O.J. Simpson trial.
Mm.
Okay, and so Johnny Cochran was O.J.'s main lawyer, and so the defense that he spun was actively picked on by the creators of South Park. Let me see. Oh, I spelled Chewbacca defense wrong, because I can't spell. All right, so I'm going to pull this up, and we're going to watch a little bit of it. And this was a huge thing that came out because, I'm old. And I was around to see the birth of South Park and that sort of thing. So let's have a go. So I feel like a lot of the rhetoric that we see with anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers, and that sort of thing is the Chewbacca defense. So let's have a look.
Mr. Chef, I'm afraid you leave me no alternative. We're going to sue you.
Sue me? You stole one of my songs, and you're gonna sue me?
Yes. I suggest you get a real good lawyer. We'll have the best in the business.
We'll get my dad to be Chef's lawyer. Yeah, and he's Jewish.
And so, in summation, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you've heard the version of my client's song recorded over 20 years ago. You've heard the exact same song produced by these...
Let me jump it ahead. Okay. So essentially, Chef was on trial and he was trying to get money for a song that was apparently pirated or plagiarized by another company. And so here's the Chewbacca defense.
Got him.
Mr. Johnny Cochran, your closing arguments.
Ladies and gentlemen of the supposed jury, Chef's attorney would certainly want you to believe that his client wrote Stinky Britches 10 years ago. And they make a good case. Hell, I almost felt pity myself. But ladies and gentlemen of this supposed jury, I have one final thing I want you to consider. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Chewbacca. Chewbacca is a Wookiee from the planet Kashyyyk. But Chewbacca lives on the planet Endor. Now think about that. That does not make sense.
Damn it. What? He's using the Chewbacca defense.
Why would a Wookiee, an 8-foot-tall Wookiee, want to live on Endor with a bunch of 2-foot-tall Ewoks? That does not make sense. But more important, you have to ask yourself, what does this have to do with this case? Nothing. Ladies and gentlemen, it has nothing to do with this case. It does not make sense. Look at me. I'm a lawyer defending a major record company, and I'm talking about Chewbacca. Does that make sense? Ladies and gentlemen, I am not making any sense. None of this makes sense. And so you have to remember, when you're in that jury room deliberating and conjugating the Emancipation Proclamation, does it make sense? No. Ladies and gentlemen of this supposed jury, it does not make sense. If Chewbacca lives on Endor, you must acquit. The defense rests.
If Chewbacca lives on Endor, you must acquit. That's how I feel like when I'm like interacting with people on the internet and they're like, and then this, I'm like,
where the hell did that come from?
It has nothing like the guns and the vaccines. If guns are used for protection with the fear, you must. Chewbacca lived on Endor, but he's a Wookiee. It's just. It's always the frickin' Chewbacca defense. Every single time with every single person on the internet when they try to do all these mental backflips and mental gymnastics, I'm like, this is just the Chewbacca. I'm just going to say, is Chewbacca a Wookiee? Yes, he is. Does he live on Endor for some reason? Yes, he was living on it. It doesn't make sense. Therefore, you're wrong. You're wrong about all of this.
Yep.
I don't understand anymore. Yeah, he doesn't though. But he was on Endor in Return of the Jedi. Yes. He was hanging out on there.
With Ewoks.
Yeah, with the Ewoks, yeah. Technically, that film was supposed to be filmed. It was originally meant for Chewbacca's planet, but they thought Ewoks would be more marketable.
Yeah, and they were right. They are actually quite adorable.
They are cute.
Yeah. Actually, what's his name? Warwick Davis was discovered because of that film. And he was the guy who ended up playing Willow. And he's actually one of the most famous short-statured actors around. And he's also one of my heroes. I love him.
Oh, that's sweet. Oh, gosh. I guess we should catch up on the chat really quickly.
That might be an idea.
Oh, my goodness. Mel has gorgeous hair. Well, thank you, Duke of Bedford. I watched it just for you guys. I watch it about once a week. It takes forever. So I don't, and it's very textured hair due to my Native American ancestry. Great-grandmother was. So I try not to wash it too much. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Somebody was upset about teasing Muppets. I am not teasing Cookie Monster. I love Cookie Monster. He is not a jerk.
No.
I'm trying to see. In Scotland, organ donation is now opt-out from Anne on Facebook.
Oh, nice. That's amazing. That's really good. I do think it should be opt-out.
Well, that was loud suddenly, says Natcha. Was that
Well-
Johnny Cochran? Was it the video? Was it the video of what Peter says that was him? It looks like him. It kind of does. Dr. Geriatric. Dr. Geriatric kind of looks like Peter a little bit. Has hat and everything.
Not Joe Witness goes, have you seen Legal Eagle's take on the Chewbacca defense? And I have not. I will check it out.
I haven't either. I need to see that.
Yeah.
Jove says, wow. I think that was on Garrett Kramer and his brand of insanity.
Nathan Jasper says he doesn't live on Endor. Now I'm pissed. He had no permanent residence. He was only staying Airbnb.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, gosh, there is so much stupidity. There's so much. There's
The
just
Chewbacca
like
defense. Nothing can beat the Chewbacca defense. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Oh gosh, I'm trying to catch up. Can Wookiees catch coronavirus? I don't know. I don't know their genetic.
probably wouldn't. I would say like their biochemistry would be too different. Because like the coronavirus, I wouldn't be able, if I got it, I wouldn't be able to give it to my snakes because they're too far apart.
Yeah, but how far apart are Wookiees from us? Are they like Bigfoot? Because Bigfoot's supposed to be like, are they like similar to Neanderthals? Like a lot of
Yeah,
hair?
but that's the assumption that they evolved on Earth.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But
So
we would have to see what their genetic code would be like.
yeah.
What are
That's true.
the bases of that? Are they similar to like DNA or?
Yeah, because there's more than one potential type of DNA. Like there's at least 4 potential DNA possibilities that,
Yeah, we have the 4 CGA and T, and you put it together, and then it's like 4 factorial, and you consider all that, and that's all of the different combinations that you can do. Well, with the 3 different codons. And then you have wobble theory, where you have multiple codons for the same amino acid, where you can have like a little shift in one in one nucleotide, and it still will code for the same amino acid. So I don't know.
yeah, do their codons read in 3 or 4?
Yeah. Do they read in 3 or 4? Is their transcription process similar to ours? Is their protein synthesis similar to ours? What are the proteins made of?
Yeah. So I would probably say the chances are Wookiees would probably not get it if they evolved on another planet. I mean, it's a possibility, but if there was going to be a some sort of disease that would knock out another life form from a different planet, it will probably be because of bacterial infection rather than viral infection.
Yeah, that would probably be more likely. It depends on like the mode of cellular communication amongst their cells. If it's going to be viral, because viruses would infect cells through the receptors. So if there's any kind of receptor interaction, and if those viruses are able to hijack, in so many words, the processes of the cells in order to replicate parts through the protein synthesis. So I don't know. Yeah, bacterial infection would be more likely.
Yeah. Interesting.
They're
Interesting
half
conversation.
human, half sheepdog, half Sasquatch. Well, that's probably thirds. But that's all right. We've been going an hour and a half.
Oh, really?
I know. It doesn't feel like it's been that long. Do
All
you
right.
want to tell people what you've been doing, where you're at, where they can, and all of Nervardia's links are in the description. So hop over and check out her stuff. She's awesome.
Thank you. I released a video on conversion therapy and Australia's version of PragerU. I have been hesitant to go against the Australian Christian lobby because I like not having a stroke generally. But with this one, I kind of felt like I had to do it because he was talking about a law that was introduced and, goes full on Christian persecution complex kind of thing. I get angry. And so, yeah, that was my latest video. I am planning on maybe doing a quick restructure of my channel where one week I stream, the following week I do a scripted video, because at the moment I work full time and there's an outbreak at the moment of coronavirus near where I live. So a lot of my clients have actually, some of my hours have picked up because they can't go to work and things like that. So so I'm just doing a bit of a restructure of my channel. This Thursday, I'm going to have a climate scientist on my channel to talk about a person called Peter Ridd. He has sued his university, James Cook University, which is up in Cairns. He's a science climate change denialist, and so he got fired because of his opinions. And so I'm going to have a climate scientist on to explain why he was wrong and why it was okay for him to be fired, because they talk about intellectual, being able to talk about challenging intellectual things, but climate change is a thing. It's pretty much a proven fact. So anybody who works in a university denying climate change is basically, it's like having a person who's a virologist that says that COVID-19 was produced in a lab.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Career destroying stuff.
It is. It's career destroying stuff. And the James Cook University obviously did the right thing by firing him, and he's been trying to get his job back, which, I'm all for free speech, but I'm also for experiencing the consequences of said free speech. And I think James Cook University did the right thing. That's not cancel culture. If you're going to undermine the scientific method, and you're a scientist, that's
that's kind of like working for Chick-fil-A saying I'm a vegan and I'm anti-Christian, I'm an atheist, and I'm gay and trans.
Yeah.
They would, and you're very vocal about it, they would probably fire you. And I don't know why anybody who would be like that would work for them anyway, because Chick-fil-A is terrible. I won't eat there.
Yes. Well, neither will I, but they don't exist here. So that's another reason why I don't eat at Chick-fil-A. Well, the first time I saw it written, it was Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I worked there 2 years. I was in high school and I was dumb. I'm just gonna say, you do what you gotta do. That's my shame. It's my shame story. I had to work my way through high school working at Chick-fil-A because I had to...
No shame at all with that one. No shame at all.
But I learned and I got better. And it's probably the most non-Christian establishment I've ever worked for has been Chick-fil-A. At least where I worked, it was pretty terrible. But that's a singular N equals 1. So
yeah,
can't really speak broadly, but given their policies are not very nice. So.
Yeah, my first ever job lasted 4 weeks, and that was working at a kebab shop. I have not eaten a kebab since.
I think the worst job I ever had was a cemetery plot telemarketer. That was about 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's I can see why you would have given up that job pretty quickly.
It was pretty awful. I was hit on over the phone, believe it or not. I know it was weird. I actually worked at the actual cemetery, and we had to take a break every hour to get in a good mood. And then you're like, we're going to go outside and get take in the fresh air. And then you go outside, it's a cemetery, and there's like people going there, sad because their loved ones are dead. And you're like, this is not my jam.
No.
Like, that was the worst job I ever had. That lasted 2 weeks. It was probably one of the higher paying jobs I had. But then I was a manager at a formal wear store for men for a little while. That was fun. If you're into watching dudes go and try on tuxedos. And also, we were very pro non-binary type of situation. So we were
nice.
Yeah, so we would have gay weddings and all kinds of stuff. It was really cool. So got to do a lot of that.
That sounds like a really sweet job.
It was sweet. It was sweet for a while. Well, I will talk you to death, Merro.
I know, we can.
I will talk you to death. We'll be back next Sunday, though, if that's cool with you, if the time works. If not, we will shift it to a different day. Merro's schedule is different sometimes.
Yes, sometimes. I mean, there might be a possibility we could do next Saturday. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But this has been great. This was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was. Thank you for having me on again. And thank you, everyone, for coming.
Well, you're the co-host.
Yeah, why do I keep saying that?
Thanks for having me on as the co-host that you have me on this show for, now. It'll get easier with time. It's fine. Okay. Well, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Bye.